Hello everyone, this is Alex Savoie for Discovery of Wine. Thank you for joining me again. Trying a different format today. Actually, I experimented with it in episode 3, I think. There's part A and part B on that episode. So what I want to try and do to make it easier for everyone who doesn't have too much time to watch me, I'm going to try and do either a tasting or an information episode each time. So instead of combining both in one episode and making it longer, I'm going to try and split the two up. So definitely, if you can leave me in the comments what you think about this. Is that going to help you, or would you rather have everything in one episode that would be maybe a little bit longer? Anyways, so for today we have a tasting of 3 different wines. Now I already have an idea about these wines because I just did the French episode, so I didn't want to make you think that this is my first tasting of these wines. But let's get into it. So the first one, we have a Riesling from New Zealand, 2008, which is not a great vintage in New Zealand. In the Marlborough area, which is a prime area in New Zealand, especially for Sauvignon Blancs and Rieslings, I believe. This is the Matua Valley, which honestly I don't know much about this wine, aside from the fact that I got it at the SAQ Depot, and I think that after the 15% discount for 12 bottles, I think I got it for about 13 bucks. So I thought this was a good way to try a new wine. Love Riesling, love New Zealand, never had a Riesling from New Zealand, so great way to try it at a good discount. So let's get into it. Right away, first thing, off the bat, refreshing. This is, I mean, you can smell it. It's the acidity with I'm getting green apple and citrus. So green apple, citrus, and the acidity makes it seem like it's going to be a refreshing wine. So this is probably more of a summer wine, but this is my style of wine, so I'd have it in the winter, in the summer, anytime. But definitely you want to serve this chill normally. It's not, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say warm, but it's not very cold right now. So I might detect some hints that I might not like, because this should be drunk a little bit colder. Good acidity. Okay, I'm getting the same thing I got when I first tasted it for the French episode. There's a little something bothering me in the back end. And I said earlier that I thought if I put it in the fridge for a few minutes, make it colder, that it would go away. I don't think that's it. I don't know if it's the alcohol or there's something that's sort of disjointed at the end, but there's a little something lingering in my throat that's not great. But I'm still getting a lot of the citrus in the mouth. This is a long finish. Honestly, for a $13 wine, this is definitely well worth it. If you like this style of wine, if you like Rieslings, if you like the nice crisp acidity from the New Zealand whites, you should like this. For 13 bucks, it's a very good wine. It's not great, but for the price point, can't complain. Wine number 2, Clos Saint-Jean, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, 2007. So this is a blend of Grenache Blanc, Roussanne, and Claret, which are, it's equal parts for the 3. This is typical for the Rhône, for Châteauneuf-du-Pape white. You would also a lot of the time get some Marsanne, but there isn't any in this blend. So this is a heavy white. You're not used to this. Well, I'm not. A lot of people aren't used to this style of wine. To be honest with you, this is not my favorite, this style of wine. Now we'll see about this one. And it's more the type of white that would go well with food. It's not your Pinot Grigio for the summer. That's not it. It's the complete opposite. Should be very different from the well, I know it's very different from the last one. So but let's see. I had it with fish yesterday. It was great, but the glass I had before dinner, didn't like it so much. So So yeah, basically it's not my style, but with food it goes really well. So let's see what it tastes like today. A lot of floral notes. But definitely not, doesn't smell refreshing anyways. There's what I don't like about these styles of wine, and Viognier does the same thing for me. There's sort of that, and I can't put my finger on it quite yet, but sort of like you have something a little bit burnt, or something that there's a little funky taste at the end, and it sort of tastes like there's something rotten that's been sitting in it. I know this is typical for this style of wine, so it's not this bottle that's wrong, but it does bother me. This is served warm right now, so might, you know, make that component seem even more predominant than it actually is. But anyways, trying to explain why I don't like this style of wine. But this one is pretty good though. This specific bottle is pretty good for this style of wine. Just a lot heavier, and it feels like the liquid is thicker. It's almost and the color. Well, I can definitely not let you see the color, in the sense that there's no way this camera can capture the color of the wine, but definitely feels like it's almost not to the taste, but the mouthfeel almost tastes like it's a dessert wine, like a late harvest or something like that. But I know this isn't. Anyways, but for this wine is $47. If you like this style of wine, or you want to try something different, go ahead, try it. This is by no means is this a bad wine. Quite the opposite. This is a very good effort, I think, by this producer. But not my style of wine, and especially for 47 bucks, I can find something I like much better. But anyways, if you want to expand your palate, feel free to go ahead. This is not a bad way to go. The last wine, which is what I'll be drinking tonight. These two wines were open from yesterday. The first one, the Riesling, got it off a friend. Anyways, long story. The second one, I had it with dinner last night. This is what I will be drinking tonight. So I'm going to a wine tasting tonight, and I'll put the link below for the discussion forum. It's unfortunately it's in French, but those of you who speak French and English might want to take a look at it. It's called foudsvin.ca, and it's a place where wine fanatics from the province of Quebec go, so from Montreal, from Sherbrooke, a lot of people from the South Shore, from Quebec City, go there, discuss wine, different topics, give their opinion about a whole bunch of stuff. And there's a lot of tasting groups that are forming, or tasting dinners with random people. So this is really interesting. It's fun if you're really getting into wine right now. This is a good way to meet people and to expand your palate, to go to tastings and, you know, try 8 different wines in one night instead of just one wine by yourself. Anyways, so I'll put the link below if you want to go take a look at it. It'll be on the blog. So what this is the Inniskillin Legacy Series 2007, and it's a Cabernet Franc. So this is from the Niagara Valley, which I told you in the previous episode. I went there about a month ago. So the Legacy Series is Inniskillin. Every year they take one grape varietal that they think is doing really well in that year. And what the winemaker does is he selects the best barrels from different parcels and blends them together. And this is sort of his signature wine for that year. So there's only about just over 200 cases made of this wine, only sold at the Inniskillin winery. Can't get my words out. And so this is sort of a limited series. Was able to get my hands on it. I'm a big fan of Cabernet Franc. So this was a no-brainer for me. But 2007 in Niagara was their best year to date. 2010, which is they just harvested, is supposed to be even better. But prior to 2010, and 2010 is not available yet. So everything prior to that, 2007 was supposed to be the best year for the region. So this should be fun. This should be a good bottle. It retails for $40, not available at the LCBO or the SAQ. But if you make it in the Niagara region, you go see Niskilin, you might want to try and convince them to let you try it. And I'm pretty sure if you try it, you might want to get a bottle or two. So what I'm getting is much fruitier than what I'd expect from a Cabernet Franc. Usually Cabernet Franc is on the vegetal side, so you would taste and especially smell the vegetables. Basically, it would taste as if you're biting into the stems at the same time as you're biting into the grape. So it's difficult to describe. You just have to try Cabernet Franc. Try a Chinon or Bourgogne from the Loire Valley, and you'll see exactly what I mean. It's it usually tastes and smells like the grape is not ready, like it's been harvested a little bit too early. But that's just the style and the grape that does that. This one though, because it was particularly a hot summer in Niagara in 2007, I get a lot of red fruit. I mean, definitely cherries, definitely raspberries. What I like most about this wine is the transition. You get the fruit up front, then the mid palate is just coated with flavor. You get some of the acidity, and then in the back end, and this is a little bit warm, so I'm getting a little bit of heat from the alcohol, but that's because it's a little bit too warm right now. And the finish is still going right now. I mean, this is a superb wine in my opinion. Unfortunately, it's a very limited edition, so it's not available unless you go to the winery. If you live around there, or if you, for some reason, decide to go to St. Catharines or Buffalo or Niagara Falls, it's all in that area. Definitely stop by and try this wine. Basically, that's it. So my subject for discussion today was: do you prefer that I discuss a topic and taste the wine in the same episode, or split the two in different episodes so that it's more convenient for you who don't have that much time to watch lengthy episodes? So thank you for being with me, and I'll see you next time.